All right, guys, welcome back. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and yes, it is indeed a day of the week we call Tuesday, which isn't much of a day, except we have some things to keep in mind at all times. All right, so let's get started. First of all, let me pop out our chat so that I can keep an eye on the Google Meets at the same time, because we are going to have our Google Meets panel this morning. And let's get this link out here for you guys to join. Okay, Google Meet panel. So that way we can, I don't want to get too crazy and cover a million things at once, but we are going to cover some things today. We have a lot of little itty bitty pieces to cover, and some of them are just plain bleh. Yeah, bleh. So let's get started. First of all, we all know that at 3 p.m. today, Donald Trump is going to be doing a presentation. I believe it's going to be in Texas. And the presentation in Texas is going to be specifically, well, he's not talking about it, so we don't know. Okay? We know that Donald Trump finally managed to catch up with Mike Pence, and the two have been talking quietly in the background about the future of what's going to happen next. Representative Senator Manchin is bellyaching about people getting the $1,600 stimulus check, or $1,400, claiming that they will basically don't need it and rather will put it into the savings account and save the money. First of all, Mr. Manchin, let me wake you up to a reality, if I may. Because you guys basically didn't help us out soon enough, a lot of people are rightfully going to be very fiscally tight. They're not going to go out there and blow money like drunken sailors, because the fact of the matter is, look how long since the last stimulus check. People realize that the money is there to help us, but it's a supplement, not a replacement. And so therefore, those people have chosen to be fiscally conservative, which you should understand clearly, that they need to save the money. So, yes, they're going to save it in the money and the bank, and only wean from it what they need, and not blow the whole thing in one shot like drunken sailors. It's common sense. After all, if you wanted the people to go out there and spend the money like drunken sailors, then you better make sure we're giving them lots of drunken sailor money to spend, because otherwise people are going to be very fiscally cautious and not blowing wads of money when they can't afford it. It's just common sense. How you doing, Spirit Salt? Happy Chick, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show. We are going to be having our panel this morning. I'm just getting through the basic news first. And next thing is, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has put out an alert to all 50 states and the District of Washington, D.C., that there is concerns of the fact that they are hearing of uprisings starting on the 17th of the month until the 20th. I'm talking armed uprisings in all 50 state capitals. That scares me. It scares me because of two reasons. One, we have a pandemic going on. You're talking about creating a super spreader, super soaker, and it's going to be the kind of thing that is going to make things way worse for the virus recovery, because these people are not wearing masks. If things still get to the point where firearms are fired, it will be literally a super soaker of blood. I'm not enthusiastic about this whatsoever. I'm imploring every American citizen, please leave the guns at home. Do not do this. Do not do this. And please do wear personal protective equipment for the virus. If you want to wear a Kevlar vest as well, that still goes under PPE. Please wear a PPE, including masks, goggles, Kevlar vests if chosen, but leave the guns at home. If you're going to go see the inauguration, let's have the inauguration be a safe one. No guns, please. No violence. Okay, that's just the best thing. DRB, I'm going to join your Google Meet. Okay, great. Let me go ahead and put the link up for Google Meet, and just for those of you who may have missed it, and so Rachel can join it, and you can join it too. I'm sure people will want to talk about this on today's show, as it is a very interesting issue. So I just switched over to the Google Meet so we can check it out. So if you want to join, please do. We're going to cover this because I wanted to make sure people understand that I am growing very alarmed at what potentially could transpire. Several Republicans, as I said yesterday, had told Nancy, the Democrats in the House, that they are not filing the 25th Amendment against Trump. Okay? Therefore, Nancy Pelosi wants to insist on pushing the articles of impeachment. If you pin it, how do I pin it? How do I pin it? Oh, okay, I see it. Pin. I can see. Oh, you pinned this for me already. Oh, okay. Thank you. I didn't even think of that. But the thing is that I do not want to see any more people get sick. Because everybody's talking about Trump this, Trump that, rally this, rally that. But how many people are wearing masks? This could probably be a good time for them to go ahead and give vaccinations for all the people showing up for the rallies. A jab fest. Literally. Everybody walks in, everybody gets a complimentary jab of medicine. Everybody gets a shot. Free. No charge. That's what Biden wanted to do anyway. What a perfect time to rosin up your rubbing alcohol on your swabs and start giving everybody the jab when they walk into a Trump rally. Why didn't they think of that? How are you doing, Michelle? I don't think you can pin more than one thing. Certainly would have, because then we could have got ahead and had basically Nightbot announce everything once and not have to repeatedly remind people about the live streams. So, but anyway, we are currently at 1,045 subs at this point. The videos are getting longer and longer, people watching longer and longer sessions. And that's another good thing. We are starting to reach more and more people thanks to the community tab. People are now becoming a little more aware of what I'm covering in my videos, as I will occasionally put in supporting documentation to what we've covered on the show so people can look back and see what I was saying. Spirit Soul says, I think many Trump supporters are against the vaccine. They may be. And many are. However, give the opportunity, President. Have a couple ice chests full of vaccines at the entrances and saying, look, it's up to you. You want it? It's free. Oh, did you bring a mask? Oh, no, you don't have no mask, huh? Oh, gee, there's a mask. It's free, too. You may be against what's going on right now politically, but you also are one person that's going to help stop the spread of the virus. And so therefore we're asking you to exercise due diligence as a participant in this rally. I think that it would be a good start. Look, guys, you want to have these super spreader, super soaker events, all these rallies, all these protests, marches, all these arguments. This is the time to go out there and rising up your needles and rising up your vials of and vaccine and get out there and start giving jabs. Everybody who wants one gets a free jab, no charge. This is the time. And this is the time we could even do screening for COVID-19. Sorry, you got COVID-19, you can't come in the door. Sure, they might get mad about that, but you know what? The idea is it's the only way you're going to stop the super soaking events. People getting the saliva and their mucus all over you. This is the time to tell the people, if you're sick, stay home. Okay? Right. Exactly. Especially if they're going to play, especially if the FBI is right that it plans to go on all 50 states, 50 state capitals. This is the perfect time to do just that. Get those needles out there. Get the PPE out there. This is the time to detect, quarantine, and screen all participants. And of course, if you want to be unruly about it, then the police can forcibly cuff you and stuff you. But that hopefully will not happen. But you know what? This has got to stop. We could have stopped the COVID-19 sooner. Yes, Trump, I'm sorry, I have to accuse you for this one. Because, Trump, as much as I love you, somehow your rallies, I am not seeing a lot of people exercising due care. And I think you had a couple people that spread it, and the rallies caused the virus to explode in the United States. And potentially, we could have been a country of less virus, but too many people got it from too many other people. And the same thing with Antifa and BLM on your rallies. Get out there and get the jab team out there. Get the needles going. Get the PPE minions out there. Get out the masks. Get out the screening. You guys can do this. Use this as an opportunity to make a positive change so that we can get our lives back to normal. Everybody could have done something great when they're having the rallies. Screen, vaccinate. And, avoid the stupid thing from spreading as fast as it did. But no one thought about that. I'm thinking about it, buddy. I'm thinking about it, buddy. We know who you are. Let's make it right. Now, as far as what Donald Trump going to cover today, I don't know. I do not know what he's going to cover today. According to Right Side Broadcasting, it's going to start at 3 o'clock. But I already know he said he's peacefully conceded. He's already said basically he's going to allow the transition of power. He's not going to fight it. So is it possibly that he's going to resign his presidency? It's possible. You see, he realized he made a mistake. He does realize that. The country that he loved has become so divided. The only way that it's going to happen peacefully is if Trump basically hands in his resignation and says, I quit. Forget the 25th Amendment. Forget the impeaching. Let him resign with his dignity, as much of it he has left. I know a lot of Virgo men and women and some others would be screaming that we should basically put his head on a pike. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't support that because I don't think we have to. I think it's just like, Connie Francis saying, "Who's sorry now?" You know you did something wrong. Make it right, Buster. That's the only thing you can do is make it right. Giving your immediate resignation would have been more than better than nothing. I hope he doesn't do anything even more stupid, like put a 49 millimeter gun to his head and blow his brains out. I don't think he's that desperate. But you know what? That would have been a real shocker if he did something that frightening. If he actually shot his brains out on camera. I hope he doesn't do that. I really hope he don't. Because you never know how he feels about it. He did a lot of good for this country. Okay, so he made a mistake or two or three. He's a human being. He's a Gemini. We tend to do that. But either way, we'll have to see what happens at 3:00 today. When I said broadcasting. I'm not sure we're going to cover it live because then it goes into a reuse content issue that can be enough to cause your channel to be demonetized permanently if there's a lot of reused content. I don't know what to tell you, but really, as far as the FBI has claimed that there's probably going to be armed protesters in the 50 state capitals in Washington, D.C. Heaven forbid. Leave the guns at home. Ruby, don't take your guns to town. Okay? Please, don't. It's a scary thought. As far as Senator Manchin saying that he thinks that everybody is going to take their stimulus and put it in their pockets or put it into the savings and checking accounts. Mr. Manchin, let me make one thing clear to you. If American people feel that it'd be prudent to save their money and only use a little bit at a time instead of go out there blowing it like drunken sailors, who the hell are you to tell us how to live our budgets? You're not us. You don't know what we want to do with our money. You don't know what's going on in our individual lives. After all, you got personal finances are well provided for as a senator. You never have to worry. You never have to worry. For 2 to 6 years, you will be around receiving money from entitlements and from perfectly ultimate Cadillac medical health care provided by the federal government. You'll have the best treatments, the best money. You get free travel. How can you compare yourself and say that, Americans don't need the stimulus because they're going to blow it? Wait a minute, that's not what he's saying. He's saying the opposite. He's saying Americans don't need the stimulus because they'll save it. In this crazy day and age of the 21st century, would it be better to try to be fiscally responsible like you're trying to tell us and use the money for the things that we need versus just blowing up wads of money thinking that it's some gift from the gods, some gift of ambrosia of some sort? Use the national broadcast system tomorrow. He probably is going to make it official. I resigned. Period. That's probably what he's going to do. I'm not good at clairvoyance. I just know from looking at the trends now. It says what's going on. I mean, really, guys. We're living in very dicey times, aren't we? I'd love to have you come on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Come on up. Let's talk about it. Rachel, you can come up too if you're free. The fact of the matter is one thing that keeps coming up every single rally, every single protest. So all of a sudden, the COVID-19 events get worse and worse and worse and worse because nobody is thinking this would be a good time to screen participants, offer free vaccinations, PPE, make sure they have their masks, make sure they're wearing their masks. This would be the time to do just that. And if anybody comes in and is determined to be not in good health, even if it's a common cold, send them home. Send them home. This country does not need to allow this to continue. The virus is killing our economy. It's killing us. Also, if you watched the video I posted this morning about what's going on with the exodus of people from states to migrate to other states, things are bad, especially for the major cities like New York, California, Los Angeles, Illinois, as people are going to states that are a little more easier to work with. The population is shifting. Who wouldn't want to leave? Who would not want to leave Massachusetts? Who would not want to leave Connecticut? Better nice we state where we turn you into convicts and basically make you pay taxes until you're dead. What about California, the state of Galvin Nuisance and all his over excessive democratic policies, turning California into a mess? People in California who have the ability are leaving in droves, going for greener pastures. Unfortunately, creating a problem for the states that they left, resulting in less people who are able-bodied to fill the positions that have been vacated. Well, can't have it all, honey. Emergency broadcasters. I don't know. So that's where we stand. We can defeat the virus if we had thought about this from the beginning. Every time Trump has a rally, especially when the vaccines became availability, and even before that, have a screening and having people get free PPE. And we could have basically prevented the problem. And same thing for the Antifa and BLM. They should have been giving up masks. They should have been doing screening themselves to make sure that nobody gets sick. Why wasn't it done? I don't know. So what you guys got to say? Love to hear your answers. So, the link for the event is up there for the panel. Let's talk about it. And if you don't want to type on the panel, that's fine. You could type in the chat. I read both. We'll see what happens. Big D's are ahead. So, so tomorrow, although I should be home by 10, I might be a little late. I do inland a shark because tomorrow I gotta go briefly with Krista to go get my blood work done and pick up my refills from beacon prescriptions, and I also plan to make a quick run into Stop and Spend, aka Stop and Shop, and pick up some groceries for the house. Nothing much. Remember, I pointed out the problem right now is that they are out of cheese and they are out of a lot of good things I like to have for the house. The truck at Stop and Shop, Gummies is supposed to be by tomorrow. They haven't had cheese in 2 weeks. There is an Aldi's in Torrington. We went there last week. I did not feel like spending a lot of time there. I had a lot of things on my mind, so I didn't buy a lot at Aldi's last week. And so right now I just want to get a couple quick things for the house and then come back here. It's another thing that I hate when you get to be older. You're not as likely to eat as much as you used to because I know that. Yes, I know that. And their pizza's good too. I bought the Mama Corsi's 3-pack of pizzas. They were delicious. I wish they were thick crust, but they were sold out of thin crust too. They were out of cheese also. How you doing, Offer J? We are having a panel this morning. Yeah. So anyway, I'm doing fine. I just pointed out this morning that there's questions about the fact that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has sent a alert out to all 50 states and Washington, D.C., warning that they have evidence that indicates political upheavals occurring starting around the 16th of January. Some of the people that they have received tips of will be armed at these events. Say, how you doing? Them Baines. As I said, this country, they should be using this time to go out there and do a vaccination and screening at the same time before these rallies. This is the way you're going to shut the viruses down big time. Screen them and jab them. This is the time to do it. When everybody's there, sure, some will refuse, but that's okay. Screen them at the door, at the gate. If the temperature is above 98, send them home. and then automatically I would lose because my temperature's average is always 99.1. But the point is, this is the time to send them home, screen them, and if they pass, let them through. If not, send them back. If they come through and they pass, give them a free jab at no charge. Free PPE masks, whatever they need. The idea is the time to screen them and make sure that nobody gives the super virus to another person. Logistics, in some ways, could be a perfect tool for defeating COVID-19. We now have the technology, we now have the information, and we now have the resources to finally defeat the China virus. Why aren't we doing it? Also, we need to remind people that they need to wear the PPE, they need to wear their masks, and to please check in your guns at the door. Leave them home, ideally, but if you insist on carrying open carry, leave your guns at the door. Okay. We don't need to see the first nut job go out there on a firing spree, and all of a sudden I see the rest of the country explode like a natural gas leak. That's the last thing we need. Thank you, Sherry Jackson. Because over and over again, after Kenosha, after George Floyd protests, the viruses kept getting worse and worse and worse as I see less of them wearing masks. Even Antifa has stopped wearing the black masks, their black ski masks that they were so popular back in 2016. They could have someone just sew the mouth hole shut and be done with it. Instead, they chose not to do that anymore. They took the masks off completely and said, screw it! I don't care if I make you sick. It's my right to make you sick. No, that makes you an asshole. You have the right to be protest, but you should still be respectful of other individuals besides you. You know, social distancing in a protest is not likely. For God's sakes, do something better. We have the ability now to make America healthy again. I know, that doesn't really sound too good. Maha. Oh, fine. Make America healthy again. We have the ability to do that. This is the time that the Red Cross and other doctors should be out there with the coolers of vaccine and giving everybody free complimentary vaccinations. Or if you don't want one, make sure you got proper PPE that's clean. How many people wear the same dirty, grubby mask and don't put it in the washing machine? Oh my God, you'd be surprised. Does Nancy Pelosi wash hers? I have no idea. The point is, we have to do something. Americans want to get their lives back together. And as far as that Senator Manchin goes, if people, like I said, people choose to save their money in their bank and basically help them tide over for a whole friggin' year, that so be it, because people don't know if you're going to be giving us any help again. So people that are prudent are saying, I don't want to blow all that money right away because I don't know when the next check's coming. It's called being fiscally responsible in a pandemic. Oh, okay. Well, whoever. Someone hopefully washes their masks. Do you? I got one I gotta wash. Even though I washed it already, it still smells of cat pee. I smell Dusty's cat pee in my mask every time I put it on. Because it originally wasn't a mask, it originally was a headscarf. Just promise me, guys, if you guys are organizing these rallies, This is the time to screen for COVID. This would be the time to give the vaccinations. This would be time to make sure that people come into the rally unarmed and make sure that they're COVID free. This, like I said, is the perfect time because if you do nothing, it'll be a super soaker. Because people, one person, COVID-19. You guys are packing them in like sardines, starts coughing and horking, and the next thing you know it, they get 15 other people sick from the coughing and horking. And then you're wondering why. You look at the latest results from the CDC and it shows the number of cases of COVID-19 is shut up. Because you guys dropped the ball on screening at the most perfect time. Thanks very much, Leah. Much appreciated. 11 viewers, 7 likes. Let's keep those likes up, guys. Let's pump the like accelerator. Yeah, the like accelerator or the likerator. Let's pump it. Pump it. Let's get it up to like 20 likes. Big deal. Big deals. Big deal the world's going on. Today, I believe today is going to be the day that not only they're going to try to push more on the situation with the impeachment baloney, but they're going to finally address if there's going to be a $1,400 supplement to the $600 supplement or not. Most of the cats here. Mr. Big Head. And I have every intention to give Rusty his own little kitty cam. He's probably going, why do I need a kitty cam? Why not? Look at the size of this cat compared to my hand. My hand is medium sized. This cat said it's bigger than my hand. Yeah, he's that big. Big kitty. Big cat. All the way. Big kitty cat. So we covered a lot of things yesterday. Oh. There's a lot of things going on right now in the world. And I think that someone should be going out there and telling the organizers what I just told you. Lionel Shark said, I watched your stream from yesterday, Michelle. As someone who works throughout the pandemic, I was a little upset with the additional unemployment benefits given. You're right. The little bit of additional. The fact of the matter is that they weren't giving enough unemployment at all. An extra $600 a week, that's what I make. Well, if Biden gets his wish, everybody working or not working will have an additional $2,000 a month on the Kamala Harris plan. Right. You're right. We are going to have a hyperinflation is likely to be a problem. Hyper, not just regular inflation. Super inflation is a reality. But there will be some things that just will never be able to get in time. So it's a problem is what's the solution? Should we devalue our currency on a federal level, saying it'll take $10 to buy a gallon of milk? Or should we undercut our currency and saying you can buy a gallon of milk for $1? You see, that's the other thing that they could have done. They could have said, we're going to devalue the American currency. So now your dollar will be worth a third of what it used to be. Or that's kind of what's going to happen as unfortunately with inflation. Or we can devalue them, or we can have a deflationary trend where your dollar now can buy a whole gallon of milk. Neither one is good, because the fact of the matter is, if you happen to be well-to-do, well, let's just say, for example, now, just throw a number out there. Just throw out a number. Let's say you spend $100 a week in groceries, and the government reduces the price to everything by 90%. That means that you now can spend $10 at the grocery store and get you $100 worth of groceries. So that means if you're well-to-do, you're going to go, ooh, la, 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 I'm going to have more money to buy even more food. It's not going to happen. But what's happening instead, the government saying is, let's pump the financial accelerator and throw more money at people, which creates superinflation, which means now your dollar doesn't buy as much. Yes, I know that, Leah. I do know that. That's what part of the problem is. I'm not an economist, but I do sort of see the point of view from both sides. But at the same time, with all the people who have passed away, all that land is now available for sale. All the housing market could totally seriously be revamped, because anybody who's getting a stimulus check like I am, or more, if they do $2,000 a month, that means that every single person that has always dreamed of buying a house will have money for a down payment. The interest rates are perfect. You could seriously get a house now at a commercial lending rate of about 0.4%. You can get a house now, pay cash, not even need a mortgage. That's one of the reasons why Joe Biden wants to give you guys hazard pay. Because you guys did just that. You deserve hazard pay. Yes, I know, more and more depends. I get it. But what I'm saying is, and this is, like I said, what Manchin said is absolutely baloney. If you think that giving us $2,000 a month or whatever is going to want us to go out there and blow money like drunken sailors to basically support all the economy, well, maybe if it's $2,000 a month, maybe people will go ahead and spend money like that. But who's going to be getting most of the money? I mean, about what money we spend. Walmart, Amazon, some other major retailers have online presences. It's not necessarily going to go back to mom and pop shops, because mom and pop shops are probably in lockdown mode. Exactly. Amazon, Walmart, online shopping like Target, eBay, Etsy. It's not going to be, as I said, the mom and pop shops. The men and women on Main Street, because a lot of them are already facing lockdown. To save their business, the idea is a payroll protection program, or the PPP. That'll save them, but already landlords are rightfully concerned, as I said before, commercial real estate. The businesses are leaving, and they're already seeing that their commercial blocks are starting to empty out. In Torrington, they are. Biden wants to give you hazard pay. But like I said, if one thing I learned so far from watching these rallies is I'm not seeing a lot of push to screen and vaccinate people during these protests. That should be the first thing that they should be doing right now. If they really are concerned about protests in all 50 state capitals in Washington, D.C., then you go ahead, you get the vaccine out there, Moderna and AstraZeneca. You get the vaccines out there, and you start getting your jab force out there and offering the vaccinations at the gate. That's what it's going to take to kill this virus once and for all. Is getting everybody right there to be a perfect time for vaccination. I feel bad for every single person that has to work through this crap. Look, gotta remember one thing. Every American needs to be vaccinated or screened before entering an event like a super rally. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you want the virus to become less of a problem and not continue to be exploding at exponential levels, you have to do something. If they start vaccinating people at rallies, the anti-vaxxers will start protesting too. Right. Unfortunately, that's why the vaccination part should be optional, but it should be there. Like a state, like a good neighbor, the option for you is there if you choose it. Everybody should be screened coming in. I can't even get my blood drawn without basically getting my temperature taken by a thermal thermometer. Do you realize that? They actually won't even let me in to get my blood drawn, even at the medical center, unless I have a normal body temperature of 98, 99. That's it. If you have a high fever, they will not give you your vaccination. They will not give you your blood work. They will not do any of that. Yes, I agree. Leah, he has made some mistakes. Yes, he has made mistakes. But unlike the Democrats, I am not out there to see him swing in the gallows, okay? I'm willing to at least give him a chance to clear his name, but it doesn't change the fact that harm has been done. Trying to find a balance in a world that is so messed up right now. Nobody knows who the balance is. Keep pumping that like accelerator, guys. Helps to get this channel out to more people. I'm so sick and tired of lockdowns. I am so sick and tired of a group of people in the world, in the United States and the world, are basically acting like that they are immune and super gods, and they can go ahead and they can go into these rallies, pack them up 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people. Same thing with the one in Washington, D.C. last Wednesday. Has anybody thought about screening people at the time they came in the door to see if they had COVID-19? People actually got COVID-19 at that rally. A lot of people did. Somebody was carrying it. Somebody was carrying virus. But nobody knows who. I understand exactly what you're talking about, Sherry. I get it. I got hip problems too. You know what? This is why I'm saying we got to find a better solution for this problem because this is not working. People's lives have been put on hold. People like Lando Shark are on the front lines trying to treat people, risking the lives of somebody sneezing and coughing on them every day. Sherry, I get it. I 100% understand your point of view. But I damn well bet you want that hip and you want your foot fixed. Even if you choose to use non-prescribed painkillers, besides possibly taking aspirin or ibuprofen or acetaminophen, that's fine. Okay, I understand your point. I don't take painkillers either. Of course, that doesn't mean that some days I'm exactly in the mood to go jumping around doing jumping jacks, but there's days I will basically, you'll see me get up and the language coming out of my mouth is not necessarily complimentary. I don't know. You're right, Leah. Some things will never go back to the way they are. You can't replace all the businesses that went bankrupt. You can't replace the loved ones that passed away. That's not going to happen. There's always going to be a sense of lack of trust because you don't know if your neighbor is going to kill you with a virus that he or she didn't even know they had. Thanks a lot, China. Fuck you. What? No, wait. Seriously. You knew what you were doing. You think you couldn't figure it out? We couldn't figure it out what happened in Wuhan? Of course we could figure it out. And then what did they do at the same time? They had a festival for expats to come back home to China to go see loved ones. At the same time, Wuhan was full of virus cases. How amazing! It was a friggin' Trojan horse. They knew what they were doing. And they didn't care. Wow. Exactly. Biological warfare on its worst case. China should be brought up on tribunal by the World Health Organization and by the United Nations Security Council for weapons of actually biological weapons of mass destruction. BWDs. China should pay for all the damage that they've done to the economy of the world. They got the money. Make them pay for it. They got the proboscis and everything. They got a proboscis in their multimedia. They got proboscis in their entertainment field. They got the proboscis in their real estate market. They got the proboscis in their retail. It's time to have the Chinese government fess up and pay up. No, I don't think so. Landlord Shark, I don't see that. Virus already existed prior to this. But remember, there's no, I think it was Piven that came up with this. Never be afraid to take advantage of a situation. And the Democrats jumped at it. They hate his guts anyway. What better way? Make him look bad, discredit everything he did to try to resolve a problem that was a once in 100-year issue. 1916, 1913 actually. 1913, it wasn't done until about 1924 when the virus finally, which was the Spanish flu, finally people were getting their lives back together after burying the dead. Holy shit, guys, on toast. Think about the numbers for a minute. What year we're talking about? If it was 1913 versus 2019, what do we do different now than what happened in 1913 with the Spanish influenza? I'm not upset that he will be gone soon because I understand it's time for him to move on. I understand that. In fact, the Grim Reaper, I'm sure, is sharpening up his sickle or his scythe. It's time for him to get ready he's gonna be retiring soon. And sooner or later, because of his age, he's gonna pass on soon. We know that. So no, I'm not upset about him. I'm just upset at the stupidity and the ignorance of what's going on. I'm one of the people that's willing to go ahead and say it's time to accept the change has to happen. And the people that have continued to do the same insanity and expecting different results. You have a protest march and you can't even bother to screen people for COVID-19. You know, this is the kind of thing that really, really irks me more than ever. How you doing, Charlotte W? So, anyway, the point is we don't know what the future is going to hold, but the Senator Manchin has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like I said earlier. Yeah, people are doing fine. I have to agree with Michelle on some of this stuff. Because they could have been screening for this virus at every single rally Trump organizes, every single rally Antifa organizes, every single rally BLM organized. They could have screened everybody. And they could have been helping to prevent the spread from the COVID-19, but they didn't. Right. So today, we might be seeing more about the stimulus check for the $1,400 boost on the original $600 this week. I've been hearing that over and over again. The question is Mitch McConnell going to bring it to the floor in the Senate? There's nothing wrong with being fiscally conservative, but the problem is, right now, I don't think we can continue on with the austerity that we have been focusing on. Other leaders in other countries have already come to that same realization. Not a great day today, but I'm still about sane, yeah. So, the point is, the good news is my channel is growing. The good news is my channel is going out there and sharing information with you. The good news is the community tabs are actually being viewed in favorable ways. And, hey everyone, and Bush has dropped down and saying chat, we won't bite. Thank you. And also, please do put a like in the like jar if you haven't already done so, because that will help us get our video and more recommended to more people, new people to come check it out and to join us. And make sure to click on the notifications too, so you'll always know what's going on. I hope too in the near future to get back to doing additional things in addition to these live streams. Because after all, talk is cheap. You guys probably would enjoy seeing more things than just seeing two people in camera basically yelling at each other. And also, don't forget to join our Patreon page and our other page. I personally recommend the Patreon page because that means that every month your pledge will automatically be deducted from your method of payment, and you don't have to worry about forgetting to put in a payment. Okay? But I will post the links anyway. If Pleasing Leo would please echo it along to those people who have blocked Nightbot repeatedly and have no idea what Nightbot is telling them. Okay? First one is, let's go to the Discord. The Discord one is great. If you guys want to talk about things when we're not live, this is the way to go. The donate page is great if you want to make a one-time donation to the channel. And it is more than satisfactory. If you want to become a Patreon and really help the channel grow with a monthly pledge, it's so easy to do. And you don't have to worry about forgetting to do it each month, because each month automatically your donation will be deducted from your account of choice, and you will be able to continue to help grow the channel with your monthly pledges. And of course, do share this channel with everybody. I know a lot of people who are into current events and the news events and love this channel because they can see things from the small channel's perspective, what's going on. And do put likes in, as I said. This tells the YouTube algorithm as a vote that you really seriously do like how it's being said. Doesn't mean you might like what's being said, but it means that you do like the fact is that the issue is being brought up. So likes count. That's what I want you to remember. I'm dedicated to doing what I do because I love doing what I do. To me, this is very, very special in my heart, is going through and sharing things with you. It's passion I love doing. Remember, what it said about Virgos. Virgos, by their nature, love to share and are concerned about the well-being of the community that they live in and want to see people be successful and happy. We would give us we literally would give you our shirt on our backs for you. We don't even ask for anything in return. All we ask is that you at least would give some attention to what we're trying to say. How you doing, JoJo? How you doing? How you doing? In this day and age of also another question about Section 230 is a link I shared this morning. Amazon and other social media sites realized that Section 230 is coming to an end. And so they've been basically censoring people, knowing that one day they will be liability responsible for the actions of what they've said. I'm sorry about that. I hope it's a strong thread. I hope that you can get some closure in your life and, feel like you can finally get your life back on track. I mean, think about this. If I wasn't so people dedicated, I wouldn't be doing a channel like this every day. Think of this. I love what I do. I love sharing with you guys. Very different. There's, of course, a lot of other channels on YouTube that do something similar to what I do. I'm not the only one out there. I come here because you care and your important views. Thank you. I mean, I would like to give a shout out to the other channels out there that their information and presentation information makes my life a little easier to understand what's going on. It's Jimmy is one, Clear Value Tax is another, Brian Jung is a third. Okay. Those are the three major ones. Meet Kevin is the fourth for the news. For the recreational, you got LGR, Lazy Game Reviews. You have BigClive.com. You have Ave. You have John Ward. You have several other channels that cover electrician work and electrical work. You got Electroboom. Yes, I watch a lot of different channels, a lot of different content. Truth Told Tarot. Yes. Secret Tarot with Taria is another one. Techmoan, thank you. V Westlife. And many, many, many more channels that I follow. And I enjoy the ability to sit there and listen and think about things and dream. And I'm going to do more of those things too. 2021, depending on which way you look at it, can either be a total dumpster fire like 2020 is, or, as it said in my tarot reading, could be the year I finally do something I have dreamed of and finally succeed in getting somewhere in my life. This year is an opportunity to become something positive. Even if it is one life at a time, it can be something positive. What star sign am I? Technically, my sun sign is Aquarius. However, I have so much Virgo in my chart that I don't even act like an Aquarius. I act more like a Virgo than anything. So that's why I consider myself a trans zodiac. More of a Virgo than Aquarius. Despite the Aquarius in my chart, it just doesn't seem to really wash for me as an Aquarius. Things in my chart just don't work as Aquarius. Every reading I've done has always ended up landing perfectly on the Virgo line of thought. So, we can take this year and look at it from a lot of different ways. Yes, I understand. I'm surrounded by Virgos. I'm a typical Pisces, though, and I was born under the Virgo moon. As a Pisces, what do you personally think of Virgos? I want to know what your personal view is about Virgos. By the way, the one that we shall not mention, is also a Virgo. And she was definitely proactive in the political scene. Me and her had a lot in common, a lot of good times, and unfortunately lots of bad times too. But it wasn't because of her signs. It was just her upbringing was definitely a problem. Her mental illness was a problem. My mother is a Virgo. My partner is that the rig get on with life and proactive, just like Michelle is. And they'll go out of their way and help you in the community at large. They'll eat, like Michelle said, they'll give their shirt off their back for you. They're an ally. They're an awesome ally. And Virgos are also very knowledgeable and very down to earth, which I can't say necessarily is true about Aquarius, though, because unfortunately Aquarius are knowledgeable too. That our mind is like helium. We're out there in space somewhere. We're thinking big things, where Virgos are thinking more of ground-based things that make more sense to everyday thinking. Yeah, that's also me. And so are many Aquarius is stubborn too, but sometimes Aquariuses can be, honestly, the thought processes don't necessarily resolve problems. Thank you, Jalens. Did you put a donation? And did I forget to send you a thank you? I got to go back and check and look and see who sent in donations. I will try to get as many thank you cards as I can to all of you guys. Who's the new mod? There is no new mods. Oh, okay. All right. I will check and let you know when I see it. I'll send you a thank you. I will do my best to send thank yous to everybody I can. Sometimes I forget, but I have been making sure when I see one in PayPal, I will throw you a thank you. If I see a Patreon, I'll send you a thank you on Patreon as well. I will do my best to make sure to give thank yous, because my mom always told me, always say thank you when somebody gives you something, because they don't have to. return the favor. Also, all I want is 20% in 3 days with no human interaction. What do you mean by that? And I've always appreciated people in the early days. And a lot of people in the years had made me sound like I was nothing but a money leech, which is far from true. Especially in this day and age, we all know not everybody can fork out money. Not everybody can do it. I mean, some can, some can. Some can't, some can't. Accept that. Okay. So yes, Virgos will go through and they'll help you out as much as they can. In fact, there's one thing about I still do have feelings for the one that we shall not name, but she had a lot of mental anxiety issues and things that caused all kinds of problems. But one of the things was when she knew certain things, especially about digestion. A lot of them are involved in the in the medical community, and she certainly was no exception. That she originally was a home health aide, and she could tell you everything you needed to know about diet and nutrition. And damn, did she know her? Did she know her guts? But unfortunately, the sad truth was they can be they're highly anxious, and they tend to basically burn themselves out unintentionally trying to help people. But Charlotte, let me say, yeah, I'm fine. Or you can't read. Well, where is he talking about doxing here? I'm looking here. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about what's going on with this world right now. Seriously, the whole situation, what's going on, is starting to burn me out a little bit. Um, like everybody else, I'd like to see our world go back to normal. What do you mean by you're confused? What's the weather like there? Overcast, chilly, sucks, no sun. 18 degrees in here. 18 degrees here. Most 18 and most are working. Drop down, say hello, and hit that like button. Yeah, I'm not sure what Charlotte means. I'll get the like. I'm not sure what you're talking about either, but every time I scroll up, it unfortunately results in me basically falling behind when I get caught up in the back chat. So let's see. Even though I don't really like doing that much. So Charlotte said, "Who are you?" Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine, by the way. Hi, Charlotte, I have been listening while working, so I missed most of the chat. What happened, chat? Your name is very similar to an account that doxed me recently, so I'm asking who you are. Let's try not to do any doxing on people. If they want to dox themselves, that's fine. Take a look at my name. I dox myself every day. Everybody knows who I am. They know that's my real name. I've always been very honest about who I am. How you doing? Woman love me. I got doxed by a very similar account recently, so I'm just asking who that person is. Do you think we're living in the last days of Noah? No. I don't think it's anything like that. I think we are living in the last days of the systems that we all know about. But I don't see it being the end of the world or end of our world or people. I think we're going to be seeing a new transitionary trend after this, as we are in the age of Aquarius. In fact, I bet if you look at the people born right now at this time and you look at their Pluto sign, it probably says Aquarius now. I was born at the time of Virgo. 2,300 years between the changes of Pluto. Very interesting. I've heard that too, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. But remember what George Burns said to John Denver. When I woke up this morning, Sigmund Freud was just entering med school. So, something to keep in mind. Lionel Shakes, I have nothing to do, and I'm here to watch Michelle, not get involved in your internet drama. Yeah, please don't get into the drama. I don't want to deal with the drama. The last thing right now we need is more drama in our lives. It will have a long-lasting effect. I'm sorry to say. Maybe like Savannah Squidmurder said, maybe we need to tear down a system that is already flawed and come up with something better. I think YouTube needs to change its policy on trolling completely anyway. The way I see it, YouTube needs to make individuals more accountable for their actions. Even their sock puppet accounts need to be verified. Okay? We need to have more transparency and verifications would be a good start. Oh yeah, if you're using a VPN. Well, then every time you change your address, you need to re-log in. And that address will have to be verified. I know, pain in the ass for some people, and I can certainly see the point. WLM, I hope you are better today. Cassandra says, well, they can figure something out, and bullying needs to stop. It's crazy. They seem to be more what people play in the background. Absolutely. That's because of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. When the real issue isn't so much concerns about Section the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, but it's the cyberbullying and damage that has happened to people, including people that never meant to do wrong at all, like Etika, who ended up committing suicide because all of his accounts were, his whole life was compromised by his work on YouTube, or he couldn't even pay his rent because his MCN basically robbed him blind, and he couldn't even pay his rent, which he already was severely depressed and caused him to commit suicide by drowning in the East River. Holy crap. YouTube will not even bother, even erase his account. Like to say is, well, that's one problem not to worry about anymore. Excuse me, YouTube. You should have fucking kept his account. Unless his family said otherwise. So that they can see what the hell happened. Some people are unnecessarily cruel here, and there's no need, right? So, YouTube is worrying so much about what happens with their own policies. I think seriously, like Donald Trump wanted to do. I think that YouTube should be careful, because one day Section 230 will be gone, and then YouTube will be held liable for everything that has happened. Oh, I'm not signing up ahead. I plan to get the hell out of here. I want to move on anyway. The state is getting to be too ridiculous. The only thing is I'm 52, going to be 53, and the problem is go where? I don't know where to go, but I really seriously would like to do something different in my twilight years. No, because HUD isn't luxury. Especially since the fact is my channel is now going to be monetized. You think that HUD is going to sit there quietly go, how much you make? Oh, let me see your 1099. Ooh, you're over the limit. Here's your 30-day notice. You're off the program. TTFO. Yeah. YouTube needs a lot of changes, and the priorities straight. They need to be held liable for any bullying related to any suicide. That, again, is why Trump wants to get rid of Section 230, because that will totally remove the shield law that protects YouTube. But what I'm afraid of is, could that result in YouTube even more likely trying to sweep people under the rug? That's what I'm wondering. Lando Shrek says, I have one day off a week. I like to watch Michelle and Lumie stream, and leeches like to make it about them. I never spoke to them of them. Jojo says, Cass, it's so wrong how these people are accounted for tragedies. Cassandra says, it's crazy that they will shut your live down for playing music, but bashing and bullying, they don't shut the live down crazy. It's not just that. Okay, let's be honest. If you report the bullying, YouTube, I'm talking about the individuals doing it, YouTube doesn't do nothing about it. Not a single thing. You're throwing your complaint to a big giant dust or waste bin. It's just all the complaints are going nowhere. There has to be one government, one superpower before the Antichrist. Not on my watch. That's the last thing we need. Screw the term too big to fail, because that's exactly how we will fail. The governments are getting too big now. We need to have smaller government. More directly accountable to the people, regardless. If it be a monarchy, a constitutional diplomacy, republic, whatever. But it's got to be a smaller government so that the king or queen or president or prime minister, whatever, is aware of the needs of the people and can directly address those needs of those people, because he will be in the same boat as them. If they don't, European Union, Brussels, Washington, D.C., even London, you guys are too big to be aware of what's going on in the smaller towns in your communities. You need to downsize your government. Charlotte asks, all right, when was the last time you attended an organized religious ceremony event? Not recently. But yet, everybody keeps saying is we need to make government bigger. I can't say that's the answer. Statistically, in history, that does not work. Look what happened with Rome. There was the closest thing you got to a one world government. Look what happened to the British Empire. Another very large government body under one rule, too big to manage it properly, to deal with the needs of the people in the different jurisdictions under the Queen's rule. You see, the problem is when the government gets too big, people don't lose touch with the people in their areas that may not be in that immediate town. I'm trying to enjoy my best right now in my life. I'm trying to do the best I can like everybody else. But what bothers me is that when I see the problem, not everybody sees it. Well, some people it's because they don't understand it, which is exactly what these bigger governments want. They don't want you to understand what's going on. So if you look at all the things that they've done with legislation, they always make them so complicated. Carlos says, do you think the Antichrist is living on Earth today? Like now, I was watching videos and reading he is in around 15. Yes, I think so. Yeah, but I don't know who it is. Isn't it inevitable the population is growing, so it's going not anymore. Population is actually being decimated because of COVID-19. The government still grows with their tentacles and everything in your life. Bible gave us probably 1% of understanding of spirit in the world. That's where the Aquarians are giving you guys, and the Gnostics are giving the other percentages that you haven't received, because some people have been told nothing. Well, maybe my internet don't like it today. Sorry about that. I don't know. Guys, let's just be honest. Ugh. Situation in the world is normal. All fouled up. Lots of snafus. And of course, the Aquarius is out there and attuned, those who are attuned to the spiritual realms, which I am as well. We're seeing what's going on, but trying to explain it on an earthly level is almost impossible. The Virgo on me is screaming, oh, this should be simple, but I don't know how to explain it either. We're not giving any new wrenches out, guys. That was decided as a policy. That the new wrench policy is we're not giving out new wrenches anymore. Because there was too many people getting wrenched and they were creating all kinds of mayhem. It was decided not to wrench any new people. Only ones who got wrenches are the ones that are grandmothered or over a long, long period of time have demonstrated their fidelity and their fealty. So maybe in about a year time, maybe 2 years time, but it's because the people who wrote the Bible only knew about 1% of what there is to know about the spirit world. Correct. And don't forget that the Jerusalem canonization of the Old Testament, the rabbis only felt that a lot of the other stories in about the Apocrypha was considered to be junk. And when they were creating the Old Testament, and so a lot of those stories that were there were thrown away. For example, in your typical Bible, you will not see the book of Enoch. Why? Enoch went into a lot of detail describing things that the rabbis back in the time of Jerusalem thought was just a bit too much. Or you will not find the book of Tobit in the King James Bible or many Protestant Bibles. For the same reason, because they thought that the book of Tobit was too far-fetched. But both exist in the Catholic Bible. Okay. Or even in the New Texts, when St. Constantine canonized the New Testament, they wanted to have a Bible that was small enough for his troops to carry. So he selected the 4 Gospels that we have in the New Testament or epistles. And there was a question of if we're going to even include the Revelation of St. John the Divine or if they were not. But that won out, and that's why the New Testament was created as it is, was because one man named St. Constantine wanted to have a book that he could give to his soldiers. Being I am a Roman Catholic Christo-pagan, I'm open to looking at things at a lot more complicated levels and try to see how everything in the modern day world fits. I'm also a little bit of a druid, and that's where the pagan comes in, because I'm a small town country dweller with a folk faith system that is not necessarily mainstream. That's just fine. I think I feel comfortable with my faith system. It makes the most sense to me. Just like for those people who belong to the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, their faith system makes sense to them. The Pastadarians. Okay. I don't know if that was supposed to be a joke or real, but either way, there is a real Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So, yeah. The Pastafarians, one for you. Okay? I will support your faith system as long as you respect mine. Well, what does matter right now, and what my faith system is telling me straight out, is someone needs to speak up about what's going on with the reality and help people to understand and walk them through the current events of the world. Don't worry about bringing up ecumenicalism. Don't worry about trying to preach gospel. Don't worry about trying to evangelize. Just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that. Give the people the facts, the data, the numbers, the ones, the zeros. With people are able to think it through and evaluate it and determine what they see, if it is important or not to them. I understand that. I understand, Jalen. It's okay. Autumn, sweetheart, welcome to Michelle Live. Thank you very much. New people coming into the channel. Yep, still in the morning. Yep, still in witch. I'm a winter weather sorceress. And I can tell you something that I know from personal experience that Donald Trump learned the hard way. You got responsibilities being a winter weather sorceress. Anything you do has repercussions. Okay? I could be a real monstrosity. I could go ahead and make a major noreaser that basically results in the death of thousands of millions of people. But unfortunately, in the long term, I would be responsible for all those people dying from accidents and stuff. And I don't want to be responsible for that. But I also have to find a balance where we need the snow cover to protect the plants and the animals that are in hibernation. Either that, or we're going to have to keep the temperatures warm enough, but not so warm that the plants start to bloom, but rather find just the right balance. After all, who wants flowers to come out in the middle of January, only to see them all freeze to death because of a polar vortex event that is needed? So you have to find a balance, and that's not easy. That's not easy. And I think that's what helped me to understand more about compassion and understanding what Donald Trump is going through, is because I can see his problem. I understand his problems. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes either, but I am in his shoes in his own way. Because everything I do affects so many people's lives. And so I try to find the right way to balance all those feelings. And sometimes I don't get a lot of good night's sleep either in the process. Well, thank you. Jojo, I agree with you on that. Well, so you don't believe in the teaching of Westboro Baptist Church like the movie? I don't think anybody should be trying to force anybody's doctrine on anybody. It's different if somebody actually asks to learn of your doctrine. But if they don't ram it down their throat. But if they come to you and ask to want to learn, offer them opportunity to learn because they've come to you to seek it. We don't need a polar vortex, but we have snow coming, guys. In the next few days, we'll have snow here. Not no major polar vortex, but we're gonna have snow. Upstate New York is gonna get it, but upper Massachusetts or Connecticut won't really get much of the really bad weather. I'm not ready for snow. Well, I don't know about Tennessee, but Tennessee might get some, but may not be quite as bad as some. We'll see it. Again, that's where the issue comes in when people basically have to have to look at the thing and try to find balance. Welcome to my world, guys. Finding balance is not always easy. You can choose one or you can choose the other, but in the end of the day, it comes to trying to find out what works out the best for everybody of the possible outcomes. Cash, he's so rude sometimes. No need. Is that cool? Well, so what do you guys think? How would you find balance in everything that's going on? Let me give you a piece of advice. Take little bites at a time. Don't try to solve the whole world problem at once. You'll never get in moments of sleep. You'll head towards an ulcer, and you're going to end up taking ulcer medication for the rest of your life. So you have to work at it one little bit at a time. Because you try to take the whole mountain, you're going to get indigestion. So, looking at the best you can, how would you begin to solve some of the problems? Yeah. Siri says. Well, maybe it might make sense to see if you can hire someone to take the leaves out of your gutters. That would be a good idea. Because it's coming, guys. The temperatures are changing. It was expected to happen in the second part of the winter this year. So, oh, I know you can't solve everything. Unfortunately, Virgos will do just that. They will try to take every single problem on the world, put it on their plate, and call it dinner, and wonder why they always end up basically having stomach problems. There's your reason, because you take on too many things at once. The Aquarius to me screams, don't do that, because you'll just basically burn yourself out, because you'll be burning the candle in the middle and then at both ends at the same time. You know. But we're so driven to serve the community at large. Our lives are lives of service that we are driven to serve the community. It's our goal, our life chart. It's a part of our path. And I showed you my life chart yesterday night. At least the one part talking about the ninth house, which is my Virgo house. And it was really interesting when it landed. Yeah. Virgos are renowned for stomach problems. I know a few. I have stomach problems. I mean, not as bad as some, but damn, I get it. My digestive system's all out of whack. I got acid reflux. I got some foods I cannot even digest at all. But yet we are so driven to do what we do. We're passionate about what we do. We don't know anything else. It's one thing that we go out of our way to try so hard to help the world solve the problems. It's our nature, is the service. Sorry, guys, this is where an Aquarius in my chart is basically laughing at me. Aquarius is shut up. Hey, I'm Aquarius. So the point is that we're the mouthpieces, or we're the ones that go out there and we're trying to put the things in common sense. Well, the Aquariuses are out there and thinking about things in long term and big plans. We're worried about the right now. Yeah. I wonder how many capital politicians realize now that their whole inner sanctum concept of the capital is clearly is not so it's not so perfectly safe anymore. They thought that living in their Washington D.C. and their perfect, beautiful bastion of democracy, that they were insulated from the anger of the people. Well, I guess they weren't so insulated after all. I wonder if that's going to encourage some of them to be more cautious about what they say and what they do. But for the individuals, I could just tell you is please exercise due care. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Okay? I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Please promise me that if you do go to those rallies, that if you're feeling sick, stay home. If they're offering free vaccinations and free screenings, please take them. If you're not afraid to, leave your guns at the door. We don't need to go there. We don't need to go there. Sorry, my daughter is home and just ordered her Christmas gifts. Everyone's okay. Yeah. We don't need to see any more carnage. It's up to you guys. It's up to us to stand up and say, we don't want this to continue. We want this to be resolved peacefully. Let's work together to find the problems in the world and not keep dragging it on for years and years and years and years. Thanks, Charlotte. Much appreciated. I hope my boss gives us the day off if they protest here. I work close to the state capitol building. Let's hope so. Or at least maybe arrange for you guys to get some hazard pay. If things are going to be that bad, as the FBI said, then we need to come up with a better solution. And as far as Senator Manchin is concerned, I think he's lost touch with reality of how Americans feel. Of course, we're going to save our money in the bank because you guys have been inconsistent. You're willing to bail out the big corporations, but you won't help out the little guy. And when we get the crumbs, as Nancy Pelosi one time called them, you guys are giving up money to big corporations. And of course, the people are going to save those crumbs. They're not going to go out there and blow them ridiculous levels. Yes, I got a phone call to raise some arms against the State House. Exactly. That's what they're trying to do. They want to start another American civil war. Whoever they are. Notice I said, we know it's not Trump. Trump is not for that. But Trump unintentionally ended up kind of encouraging it without really thinking it through. Again, the Gemini shoots his mouth off. His mouth goes off before the brain goes on. And, well, that's the nature of a lot of Geminis, guys. I feel bad for the Geminis. They're smart people, they're articulate people, but their mouth goes off before their brain goes on in some cases. He can't win for losing. He has to do things to show. Yeah, but he's also very passionate about what he believes in. And again, like I said, the mouth goes off before the brain goes on. They don't, it's a trait of a Gemini. It's sad, but it's reality. Now he's gonna eat humble pie for his actions. So maybe tomorrow he's gonna resign. Maybe tomorrow he's gonna make it a public resignation and say he quits. He might have no choice. Okay. I mean, we all have examples, even me, of doing something similar in the past. And I try not to do it, but sometimes I get so wrapped up in something that I say something and then I look back at the way I said when I watch the replays and I say, why did I say it that way? Why did I say that without thinking about it? Why did I say what I said about that person or this action? And so sometimes you have to stop and think. But when you get all wrapped up in the energy, it's so easy to make that mistake. Right. Air signs are smart. Gemini is the mouthpiece of the air signs. Aquariuses are the brains. That's all we do is think. Libras are the in-betweens. They're like the Goldilocks. They are involved in the social media. They are involved with reaching out to people. They try to listen to what's going on. They try to be balanced. Well, I have to go back. Thank you for another enjoyable stream. You're welcome, Spirit Assault. And everybody, I want to say, please do me a favor. And again, check out the links that Nightbot is posted. If you blocked Nightbots and you don't know, Blazing Leo, would you give us the honors and help share some of the retransmissions from Nightbot that may have been blocked by people's blocking of Nightbot? Basically, the main one is I want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. I want you to check out the Discord or donate page too. Not everybody wants to make a monthly pledge. And of course, look at our Discord page. The Discord one is right here. I'm going to see if I can copy this and manually, because I never can remember it anyway. I'm going to hit copy. Copy. Paste. Please check out our Discord page too, because that's where we talk about things that is not necessarily mentioned on the stream. There are things we cover on there that are not covered here. Okay, so Jalen's your Pisces, and JoJo is a Pisces. Okay, I don't really know much about Pisces. I almost ended up a Pisces. If I had been born about a week or two later, I would have been Pisces. I guess I didn't want to be Pisces, so I guess I broke my mom's water early, and I wanted to get out of there. I'm the only one that can get along with all signs. I get along great with Leo. I get along fine with Virgo. I get along with some Scorpios and some Aries. Not a lot of them, but some. You guys, Geminis, are the ones, like Donald Trump is a Gemini. He's an eloquent speaker. He knows what he's doing, but he's sometimes. I think he's got some Leo in his chart too, and that's why he acts like he does, because he likes being in the sunlight. Tupac was Gemini. Who's Tupac? I would rather you two, my real sis Jojo, didn't really talk to my sisters. So being trans zodiac basically kind of gives me an edge, because if you go right across the chart, if you see the chart is the 12 signs, like a clock face. Virgo is right across the face from me. Okay, I don't know anything about rappers. But anyway, guys, it's 11:54. We will be live tonight at 7:00. I gotta try to catch up and see what's the latest going on in Washington, D.C. And sometimes the news is just not that fun to watch, and it's just sometimes this frustrates the hell out of me. But I will do what I can to let you know if we're going to get the $1,400 stimulus or not. Until we get the $1,400 stimulus, I'm not spending the $600. No, because I need to realize that $600 is going to have to last me for another, God knows how long, 6-12 months. And I'm trying to make the right decisions to plan for my future. Sorry, Senator Manchin. Don't hate me because I have to watch my money. But right now, with things being so uncertain in this world, we're not going to go out there and spend the money like drunken sailors either. Right. Yes, the signs are shockingly accurate. And I watched the research about the signs. Check out the channel Psych to Go. They covered the zodiac signs on one of their videos, and there was a lot of people who kind of felt that they were pretty much on the ball, even though Psych to Go primarily covers the issues of I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find it and I'll share it with you guys in a community broadcast tab, so you can see the Psych to Go episode about zodiac signs. You might find it enjoyable. All right, guys. For now, I want you all to have a nice, safe day. I will let you know what I can find out about this situation regarding stimulus, Trump, everything else. I will do my best to keep you apprised of what's going on. And I'll see you tonight at 7:00 Eastern Time. So for now, enjoy your day. Do your best to hold on, guys. We'll get the information as fast as I can. All right? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.